Here we go. BG's in the house. Cool beans. Cool beans. We're having issues with Facebook. All right, it's just not responding. TJT, what's happening? Mickey Smith, Xavier, Lonnie Brooks, Richard Bruner, good evening. Jacqueline Shin, good evening. Don Polo Ridge. Gail, how are you this evening? Great style. Okay, Sugar. Boogeyman, Stevie C's in the house. Space Trader, Michelle, good evening. It's simply Chris. Well, hello, Chris. Be kind, Albert, gotta like that one. David, Henry, good evening, Henry. Delagasma, Lumina, good evening. All right, so all that getting ready to get started. Old dogs in the house. Cool beans. David G, what's happening? Okay, having issues with Facebook again. Don't know why that is, but you know what? It is what it is. Let's wait. All right. I think we're ready to go. We're streaming. We're live. The audio is looking good. Video is looking good. Everything's looking good. Well, let's get started then. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Melodic Angie, how are you today? Brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks, show you basically exactly what I'm doing and how I achieve a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Ooh, my throat's getting a little sore already. We're just getting started. I guess those 2 days off wasn't very helpful. Yeah, baby's in the house. All right, so that being said, let's get ready to go. Now, I'm kind of curious. It is Sunday night. You know, the shit hit the fan on Thursday and Friday, so kind of curious. How did you guys do Thursday and Friday? Bleeding on the street, Alexander. Sorry to hear that, dude. Bam, what's happening? Cool beans. Alicia, thank you. Richard, 2 days to the upside may be a challenge this week. Well, not really if you think about it, because we had 2 down days in a row, Thursday and Friday. So what's going to happen Monday? Luigi, how you doing? Bad start, just begin. You got it. So think of it this way. You got 2 days down because they said the world's going to end. Well, the world didn't end. Everybody's still here. Everybody's still fine. Yeah, they got a lot of bad crap going on. Well, all my calls expired. Worthless. Well, that's what we're looking for. Now, Luigi, the challenge you're going to have this week is that the stocks dropped last week. So what strike price are you going to sell this week? Futures are already down 5%. All right. Is what it is, Lucky Charms. Patty, how are you doing? Squirrel. Uh-oh, JEPI and JEPQ. I don't like either one of those, Squirrel. But you know what? We're just getting started today, so let's take a look at both of those, and I'll tell you exactly why I don't like them. Adam, how you doing? Okay, JEPQ. I'm going to pause it right here. Okay, because Squirrel wants to take a look at JEPI. JEPI. Okay, so Squirrel, first and foremost, do you see this right here where it says 17 April, 16 May, 18 July, 17 October? Okay, this is what is called a monthly optionable stock, which means I can only do an option once per month. Now, once per month doesn't work for me. See, I want a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. So 1% per week is going to be 4 or 5% per month. And the numbers just don't work at 4 or 5%. They don't, because they just don't give you 4 or 5% on a monthly option. Also, how are you going to figure out, check this out. Let's go, I gotta need my glasses for this one. The 6th, we're going all the way back to the 6th, right there. Okay, so Squirrel, do you see this movement right here on the stock chart? Okay, high, drops, back up, back down, back up, back down, sideways, and a big drop. Great, wonderful. Now tell me, where do you think it's going to be in 30 days? That's 4 weeks. Okay, this right here is 4 weeks. down, up, down, up, down. Great. Where's it going to be in 4 weeks? It's hard enough to figure out where it's going to be in 5 weeks. Sorry. It's hard enough trying to figure out where it's going to be in 5 days. Because on a weekly optionable stock, you see this right here? 11 April, 17 April, 25 April. So 11 April's this week. 17 April's next week. 25 April is 3 weeks. 9 May is 2 May is 4 weeks. 9 May is 5 weeks, so on and so forth, every single week. Now, I have a good idea where stocks can be in 5 days, but in 30 days, yeah, I don't want to try to figure that one out. That one's a little bit too much for me. So, no to JEPI. However, JEPQ, I believe, is basically the exact same thing. 17 April, 16 May, 15 August, 21 November, monthly. Okay, you can't get weekly cash flow from a stock that has a monthly option unless you're okay with sitting in front of your computer all day long looking for certain setups on the charts. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. Okay, so here, squirrel, I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, and I'm requiring the stocks to have weekly options. Because the weekly options, yeah, I'll sell it on a Monday and it'll expire on a Friday. So I make my money 5 days at a time, not 30 days at a time. So JEPQ and JEPI and a whole bunch of the other crap that JP Morgan and some of those other big companies have with the monthlies, once a month, yeah, fine, if that's what you're in for. Not me. Because right now it's at 46 and a half. And the 46 and a half, they don't even have a 46 and a half. They got a 47. Okay? So the 47 is going for $1.05. That's about 2%. So how is a 2% profit going to last me for 30 days? It doesn't. And if I miss, I got to hold on to it for another 30 days and try to figure out where it's going to be in another 30 days. 30 days is not an easy thing to try to figure out. 6. Okay, here's JEPQ. Looks almost the exact same as EPI. Down, up, down, sideways, down. Okay, that's 30 days. Great. Now tell me, where's it going to be the next 30 days? Is it going to be around here? Is it going to be around here? Or is it going to be around here? I give you a good idea what it's going to be in 5 days. 5 days, I think it's going to be around 49, maybe 50 in 5 days. That's my assumption. Because you get your 30-day high 30 days ago. 30-day low was Friday. Okay, so you had the bad news. The bad news came, the bad news went. You had 4 days. Tomorrow will be 5 days. Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 days. Okay, the world didn't end. Okay, the tariffs, yeah. A lot of countries decided, you know what? We've taken advantage of the United States long enough. If we're going to charge them 20%, they're going to charge us 20%. If they're going to charge us 50%, we're going to charge them 50%. It's called reciprocal. Okay, the left hand washes the right. Anyway, I don't want to get into politics, but JEPQ, yeah, no, sorry. It just doesn't work for me. Adam, good evening. Rib, how are you doing today? Oh, so Alexander doesn't like, well, I don't like JP Morgan, but you think YMAX is going to be any better? Well, let's find out. YMAX. Well, look at that. YMAX is basically the exact same thing. 17 April, 16 May, 18 July, 17 October. Again, monthly optionable stocks do not work for weekly cash flow. Sorry. Wizard wants to take a look at Mara. I love me some Mara. Okay. All my calls are going to expire worthless. Oh, Boothall. What's up? Can you give me a shout out? Boothall, I have no idea what you want to shout out for. I sell as far out of the money as possible so I don't take a loss. Now, Luigi, I hear what you're saying. That sounds perfect. However, I like to go 3 to 4 strikes out. Let me give you an example. Let's put up AT&T here for a second. Okay. So AT&T last week was at 28. All right. Now, the 28s, there we go. Okay, see on Monday, we're right around 28.50. Okay, so now the 28.50s are only worth 4 cents. If I did it at the money on Monday. All right, Monday, right. Right there. Okay, so 28.26 is what it was at on Monday. So hypothetically speaking, 28.26, the closest one is going to be 28.50. So look at what the 28.50 is worth today. It's worth 5 cents. Not a lot, but if you did jump in at 28.26, 28.26, me personally, I'd go 3 to 4 strikes out of the money. Well, at the money's right now is at 25.26. Is that 26 right here? 89. Well, that's a nice number. But 3 strikes out, 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at the 27 or the 27.50s. Now the 27s are giving over 1%. Great, that one looks good. But no, I wouldn't do the 27s because look where the 27s are. Right there. Okay? The bottom is right now, is where it's at right now, 26.64. Well, actually, it's a little bit lower because it's actually trading after hours. It's at 26, which is way down here. Okay, so it's way down here at 26. So the 27s right here might be a little bit too close, but the 27.50s right here, that sounds more realistic to me because it's still 4 strikes out of the money. And still, you got 5 days. Is it going to hit your target or is it not going to hit your target? Okay, but you do what you think is right. If you want to go, something brought in is better than nothing. And how far do you think it's going to go from where it's going to open up on Monday morning until Friday afternoon? Now, I'm not going to sell anything before the market opens. I want to wait for the market to open tomorrow morning. Wait for it to open, see how the numbers react, and then go from there. Okay, I'm not going to jump the gun on this one. Yeah, no. All righty. Dracula! Are you an alcohol baby? You look like one. I was born 61 years ago. How the hell do you know what an alcohol baby looks like 61 years later? I think it's called fetal alcohol syndrome. All right. Why do you not date black guys? Whoa. I don't know where the hell that came from, but okay, thank you. David, the guy told me to buy coin and it got rugged. Okay, interesting. Luigi, I meant to say for stocks I already own. I'm not jumping in on anything new just yet. Makes sense, Luigi. All right, so what do we have over here? People over on YouTube, some of them, I need to get me wait a minute, what they call them? A moderator over on YouTube. So I can get rid of people that ask me stupid shit. Namaste. How can I trade every minute in options with liquidity? Okay, you're definitely in the wrong place. I don't do that. I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week using pre-qualified dividend stocks and weekly stock options. That's it. Consistency of I got 2 criteria. Consistency of profitability. I want to make sure the company's consistently profitable. What's wrong with that? And then weekly options. Because I'm looking for weekly cash flow. I'm retired, so my money's going to come from somewhere. And I've been getting 1% every week for the past, few years, 15. But that being said, okay, so let's see what we got here. Wizard Chess wants to take a look at Mara. Now, I do have some Mara. And yes, my Mara is down from last week, well, just like everything else. But let's take a quick look, okay? High the low. Where was it? Where is it? What's the? Okay, I gotta move this because I can't see. I can't see all the way in January. So let's do this a little bit. Let's make it a smidge smaller. Yeah, a smidge smaller. There we go. Now I can see it. Okay. The high of the low, where was it? Where is it? And what direction is it going? Down, up, down, up, down. All right, so it's going down. We're looking for a new bottom here. Basically, we all know that everything was down on Thursday and everything was down on Friday. So let's zoom in and look at that last 30 days to have an idea. Where were we before all that weird stuff? Okay? So the last 30 days, right here's what we want to see. Here's your last 30 days. 30-day high, she drops. Here's the bottom right there. Turns around, drops again. Now, Tuesday was the bottom. Wednesday was higher. And then the shit hit the fan on Thursday and Friday. Okay, but look at the retracement on Friday. Okay, she opened up at 11. She ended up at 11:30, made a low all the way down into the 9s. Okay, now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I like 2 days of the upside before I jump into anything. So hypothetically speaking, with this being the new bottom, Friday, I want 2 days to the upside. Monday, Tuesday, maybe I'll jump in on a Wednesday on Mara. Maybe. But let's take a look at the numbers. 11:30, the closest is going to be the 11:50, and it's going for 65 cents a share. That's over 5% for 1 week. Does it make sense? I don't know. Do you like Mara? Oh, my God, that's so much better. Ginger tea with honey. It soothes the throat because I'm not used to talking to so much. All right, so at 1024, because the current price, 1020 to 1023, so the closest strike price is going to be the 1050. Well, the 1050 is right there. It's paying $1.23 if you like Mara. Okay? Do you like Mara? That's a good question. See, never buy. I got 5 rules. Wait a minute. Let's start over again. Now, the way I came about this trading strategy that I am showing you at the moment was when my 9-year-old daughter said, "Dad, can you teach me what you're doing?" So I said, yeah. So trying to teach a 9-year-old how to trade stocks, well, it was confusing enough because a lot of adults don't get it. So I had to come up with a safe, simple, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose strategy. So that's what it was. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. So all that being said, let's get Facebook up and running. Can we? Live on Facebook. And people wonder why people go away from Facebook. It's not the easiest thing to work with. Right, let it warm up. Okay. I'll be a moderator, please. I'll get rid of weird questions. Really? You're asking me to make you a moderator when you were one of them that asked me a weird question. Now, Antoine, how are you doing? Antoine, you disappeared this afternoon. You said you wanted your girlfriend to listen in and see what's going on, yet you disappeared. Yes, that's funny. Okay, anyway, so let's keep on going. Hey, here we go. Finally, live on YouTube. No, I meant Facebook Live. Okay. So if you like, so there's 5 questions. Question number 1 is, do I like Mara? Question 2, do I like it at this current price? Number 3, am I willing to hold on to it for however long it takes for it to hit my target? Well, right now, my target is 1050 because it's at 1021. So the closest strike price would be 1050. So how long would I have to hold it in order for it to get to 1050? And question 4, am I willing to write a covered call every single week to bring in money, cash flow, every single week until it hits 1050. Because 1050 is my exit. If it never hits 1050, fine, I'm okay with it. But what happens if she jumps up? Well, fine, that works too. Then I will jump in and take a look at another stock because it's on my list, but I'll only buy it if the timing is right. Now, the timing looks interesting now, but I'm waiting for the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, it will turn around and go back up again because that's what stocks do. Stocks go down till they hit a bottom, and then they turn around and go back up. See, here was a bottom right here. It turned around and went back up again. What happened? It got to a top. People started taking profits, and it came back down again. Well, this right here was because of, the fiasco on Thursday and Friday. That being said, let's keep on looking. Andrew, thank you. Tommy Boy, yeah, what happens tomorrow? Have no clue, Tommy Boy. We'll find that one out. Daps Dappin, are you expecting a drop tomorrow? No, I'm not expecting a drop tomorrow. No. I don't know diddly squat. Oh, what did Socrates said? Socrates said after, everything's said and done, all I know is that I know nothing. I have no clue what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, we had a down day on Thursday. We had a down day on Friday. Okay, Trump threatened with the, with the tariffs. He pulled through on it. This is said he's going to do. Shit happened over the weekend. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Me? I like to think that people come to their senses and say, hey, the world didn't end. Okay, maybe it's a good thing because a lot of other countries are coming to the negotiating table and saying, hey, let's figure this out. The biggest economy on the planet is the U.S. economy. Everybody and their brother wants to sell their stuff to us. That's where the tariffs come in. Anyway, let's keep on going. Oh, Frankie, XRP, cool beans. No, I don't do XRP, dude. Sorry, it's not a dividend stock. Would you be able to check Riot for the week? Yeah, sure thing, Luigi. Melissa, hello from West Palm Beach. I've been to West Palm Beach. As a matter of fact, have you ever been to the airport Hilton? Okay, back in the 80s, late 80s, I actually, excuse me, I was actually apprentice for the gentleman who put in the artificial, what do you call that? Replica of the Greek temple. It wasn't a Greek temple. It was Valley of the Crescent Moon. Where is that? Petra. Yes, we took a lot of pictures of Petra. Was it the Treasury? Anyway, we did the bar. We did the bar in a anyway, I was there in '86 doing the exhibit in the bar. All that fake rocks and fake columns and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool back then, back in the 80s. In West Palm Beach, the West Palm Beach Airport Hilton. Yeah, I spent a couple of months there working on that exhibit there. All right, let's keep on going. KB, what's happening? Aaron, if the stock drops, do you pick the stock strike from the delta or 2 to 3 strikes higher for now? Okay, Aaron, I like to go 3 to 4 strikes higher. Okay, if I bought, all right, I'll give you for instance. I got, hold on. I got U.S. Steel at 41. So let's put U.S. Steel. Okay. Hey, here's U.S. Steel. Currently, the high is 45 and the low is 36. I got U.S. Steel at 41, right about here. Look at where it is. Now, am I going to sell the 41s? No. I'll probably more or less sell the 39.50s or the 40s. Okay, the 40s are going for 121. Oh, hell yeah, I'll do that one. The 39.50 is going, I wouldn't do the 39.50 because right now it's at 38.29. I like to go 3 to 4 strikes out. Here's the at the money, which is 37.50. That's at the money. So 3 strikes out will be 38, 38.50, 39, 39.50. And the 39.50 is going for $1.13. $1.13 on a $39 stock, that is 3%. Well, hell, I'll do that. And it still gives me plenty of room for it to jump up next week. Because do I really think it's going to go over 41 and a quarter by next Friday? No, I don't. Okay, I have no idea. But I'm not going to do anything until after the market opens in the morning. Okay, so I'm not going to jump in and just, say, hey, it's a nice, because it is a nice number. I'm just not going to jump in and do it right away. Jamar wants to look at Intel. Okay, give me a little bit. We'll take a look at that. What do you think about Tupperware stock? Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. Tupperware had its heyday. Okay, certain companies have a heyday and then they go nowhere else. So Tupperware had its heyday, but they can't seem to stay up on top. It came, it went. Squirrel, SPX or SPY. They got daily options. I know they got daily options. Squirrel, I'm a little confused because you're new here. You are. All right, because I'm really good with names. And so far you rattle off JEPQI, hell no. JEPQY, hell no. Now SPX and SPY, hell no, hell no. And I'm going to explain to you why. Hold on one thought while I go check over here for a second. Antoine, she's listening now. Can you check Intel? Yeah, Intel, give me a second. Antoine. Okay, David. Hey, James. David here. New to trading and looking to start an account with 100 grand. Cool beans. Do you think this would a good amount to generate good monthly income? Okay, David, I'm going to say yes and no. Yes, because I have a couple accounts that have, about 100,000 or more in it. 1% a week on a $100,000 account is about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That's a nice return. However, you being new, I would tell you not to put real money into paper trade for a while. Now, paper trading is kind of like playing Monopoly before you buy a house, to understand how the ebb and flow of money comes and goes. Because stocks go up, stocks go down. Where do you want to jump in? How do you want to play the game? So if you're new, don't risk any real money until you know what it is you're doing. Now, I'm here every night, and I don't charge anything for my service here. Just ask questions, and I'll guide you through. But anyway, Squirrel, we're going to take a look. Okay, Antoine, we're going to take a look at Intel as soon as I show Squirrel why I don't like SPY or SPX. Because, he's right about one thing. It does have daily options. Yeah, $5,000 a share for SPX? Hell no. Okay, SPY. Okay, has dailies. So they have the daily options. All right, well, that sounds lovely. However, now, although you may like it, Squirrel, let me show you why I don't like it. Now, it does have options, daily options, okay. But number one, it's over $500. So I don't really do stocks over 250. Because if I can get 1% a week on a $20 stock, why would I want to risk 500 to get 1% every single week? Okay. Now, you may think that 1%, this is not working. Hell with it. Let's go. All right, we're going to go over to Yahoo Finance. All right, Squirrel, and I'm going to show you some actual real numbers. Why I don't like SPY. Okay, so that's history. Let's go there. SPY, and here we go. Now, I'm looking up historical performance. Now, Squirrel, I'm not quite sure. Well, actually, I am kind of sure that you don't look up historical performance because if you are buying SPX and SPY, you're missing something. Now, I'm going to point out what I'm looking for, and maybe it's no concern of yours, but maybe it should be. All right, I'm going to look at dividends only. Okay, now, the reason why, squirrel, why I want to look at dividends, is because when a company is profitable, they get two options. They can take the profits, put it back into the company for capital growth, or they can take the profits and pass it on to the investors in the form of a dividend. So if the company is consistently profitable, they will take those profits and pass it along to the dividend as a dividend to the investors. And that's us. When we buy the stocks, we are the investors. We get dividends because it's part of the profits that are shared. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cash flow. All right, so let's take a look at SPY and let's see how wonderful they are with their dividends. Do they increase? And if they increase, look at it this way. If a dividend is a portion of the profits the company gives back to the investors, that's you and I, okay? If the profits increase every single year or every single month or every single quarter, common sense, logic, and reason all point to the direction. If the profits increase, the dividends increase. So look at it backwards. If the dividends are increasing, the profits are increasing. They go together, hand in hand. Profits increase, dividends increase. Okay, so let's take a look at the dividends for SPY. Now, I like 2 decades of profitability. That's 20 years. Okay, we're at 2025, so 20 years ago was 2005. All right, Gabriel, hold up for a second there, Gabriel. We got a few things we got to do first, all right? So just hang tight. So we're going to go all the way back to 2005, okay? The very first dividend, March 18th, 2005. Okay, the dividend was 47. Now, hypothetically speaking, each and every one of these numbers, so 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, hypothetically, they should get higher and higher and higher because that is what consistent profitability looks like. Okay, it means you're going to make more money this year than you did last year. And you're going to make more money next year than you did this year. So every single number should be higher and higher and higher. So let's check out SPY. All right. March 18th, 2025. 47, 49, 52, 67, 50. Wait, 52? Hold on a second. Squirrel. Did that go backwards? 57, that is an 04. 47, 49, that's higher. 52, that's higher. 67, that's higher. 52, dude, that's lower. They didn't make as much money the next year. That means they weren't as profitable. Is that about right? The profit should increase. The first 4 were great. 47, 49, 52, 67, 52. Backwards. 56, 58, 79, 55. Backwards. That's twice. 66, 72. September 07, September 07. 72, 78, 64. Backwards. That's 3 times. 67, 69, 72, 56, backwards, 52, backwards, 51, backwards, 59, 48, backwards. That's 7 times. And we're only in 2005, 2010. And we're already backwards 7 times. Hold on. It actually gets worse. It does. Believe it or not, you're not the first one to ask about Spider because a lot of people like it and a lot of people being misled saying this is a great investment. Well, if it's a great investment, why aren't they consistently profitable? It's a simple question. Hold on. Let's see how bad it gets. So far, we're up to 7 times it went backwards, and we're only on 2010. Okay. 2010. 53, 60, 65, 55. That's 8. 8 times backwards. 63, 63. That's 9 because it didn't increase. 77, 61. That's 10 times. 69, 78, 102, 69. That's 11 times. And we're only at 2013. We got another 12 years to go. Yeah, I'm going to say no. Okay? But hold on. believe it or not, Squirrel, it actually gets worse. It does. Because you can keep checking out these numbers. Okay? They don't consistently increase. Okay? 103, 121, 105 backwards, 108, 108, 133, 108, 103 backwards, 118, 124, 135, 110 backwards, 125, 132, 144, 123 backwards, 143, 138 backwards, 157, 141 backwards, 137 backwards, 134 backwards. Okay, but hold on. We're going to switch it up a little bit and look at something else, because you may or may not believe this, but it actually gets worse. It really does. We're going to change and take a look at the summary. Okay, right over here, top left. Okay, we're going to take a look at the summary for the ETF, electronically traded funds. You're giving your money to a computer to invest for you. All right, so 505. Okay. Do you see this number here? Do you know what that number is? Apparently you don't, because if you saw that number, you would not have bought this piece of crap. Let me tell you why. At $505, that's the cost of the stock, or the ETF, whatever you want to call it. But look at the yield. Do you have any idea what the yield is? Okay, if you put in $100 and you get a 1% yield, at the end of the year, you're getting $1. Well, guess what you're getting? You're getting 1.28. So for every $100 you put in, you get $1.28 return at the end of the year. So in actuality, with the interest rates in inflation, you're actually going backwards. You're losing money every year, because you're gaining 1.28% every year. But look at what you're at this year so far. Year-to-date daily total return, negative 13.53. Negative 13.53. And 1.28. Dude, I'm showing you how to get 1%. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent every single week. 1%. 1% a week is over 50% per year. Yeah, and almost every single one of my stocks is down from the beginning of the year. Yet, I still bring in 1% every week. So for the fun of it, just for shits and giggles, every single one of my stocks are down from last week. So tune in tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to bring in this week. I'm looking for the 1%. Okay, so if I have 150,000, I'm looking to bring in 1,500. That's 1%. Okay, 1% of 150,000 is 1,500. So let's go and take a look at something else. Oh, here we go. Let's go back to historical data, and I'll show you what consistency of profitability is supposed to look like. All right, dividends, all dividends. Okay, now we're going to change the stock, and I'm going to show you what consistency of profitability is supposed to look like. Okay, we're going all the way back to 2005, right here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 36, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 62, 68, 75, 83. Each and every single entry is higher and higher and higher and higher. That, my friends, is consistency of profitability. Now, it's been a while since we checked. We check every week. Okay, let's see how many stocks there are this week. Okay, and for that, we use FinViz, the financial visualization website. It's free to use for the most part. I like to look at the stock screener because that tells me exactly how many stocks are in the stock market. The screener right there. All right, screener, there we go. Close that. All right, and here's the number right there. See it? 10,000 39 different companies. That's how many is available for you to look at on a daily basis. Now, some of these you probably heard of the top of your head. Okay, Alcoa, Allegiant, Goldman Sachs, Arterias, American Airlines, American Mission Acquisitions, Atlantic American, blah, 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 blah. 10,039 different companies. So if there's 10,039, SPY and SPX are not consistently profitable, why the hell are you looking at them? Okay? You can find consistency of profitability very easily. Now, I hope you got a pencil and piece of paper, mascara, lipstick, write it on the wall. I don't care. Here you go. You ready? Dividend Kings. 54 companies that are consistently profitable for 5 decades. That means year after year after year after year for 5 decades, they're consistently profitable. Okay? Dividend Kings. Dividend Aristocrats. 67 companies are consistently profitable for 25 consecutive years. Dividend Champions. 150 companies consistently profitable. Dividend Contenders, 300 different companies consistently profitable, 10 to 24 years. Now, we're going to throw in, just for the fun of it, Warren Buffett's list. Because Warren Buffett, he's an okay trader, I think. So anyway, Squirrel, that's my opinion. Just my opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong. But here, I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for me to lose weekly cash flow using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks, and those are companies that are consistently profitable for a minimum of 2 decades. Okay? 2 decades profitability and weekly options. That's the only 2 criteria I have. Only 2. There's over 300 companies that fit that criteria. So out of 10,039, I'm only looking at 300, and that's it. All right, so let's get out of that. And let's go back to some trading. Now, Antoine wanted to take a look at Intel. All right, Intel, here we go. So, Squirrel, I hope that made sense. Don't feel offended. You're not the first one to ask me about JEPQ, JEPI, SPX, SPY, VOO. There's a whole bunch of them. Even YMAX companies. Yeah. Okay, if they're not consistently profitable, I want nothing to do with them. Okay, I'm looking for cash flow. If you're looking for capital appreciation, that means you're not retired and you can put money away and watch it grow over the years. Fine, you're definitely in the wrong place. That's not what I'm looking for. You're basically wasting your time here. I'm looking for cash flow. That's it. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. That's what I'm looking for. All right, Antoine. Intel, let's take a look at it. INTC, here's Johnny. All right, take a gander. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at what it's been doing. Drop, sideways. Up, big drop, sideways. Back up, back down. Right now we're at 1985. You would think that the big drop on Thursday and Friday would be a new low. Nope, not with Intel. Intel's bottom was in September. Okay, so right now we're above a bottom. But look at the motion. Okay, you can almost see a pattern. Now, what I'm looking for on a 1-year chart, I always go to the 1-year chart first because it gives me an idea where's the high, where's the low, and where's the motion at the moment. Well, the high was here the first, 9 months ago to a year ago. Okay, but lately, for the last 8 or 9 months, here we are down here in this range between 19 and 26. That's where we are now. Okay, fine. Before I go to the next chart, I want to check the numbers. Because is it worth me doing this? Well, I'm looking for 1%. Well, how do I get that? The current price, $18.89. Well, the closest strike price is going to be 19. So if I buy it tomorrow morning at 18, that's if these numbers are consistent tomorrow morning. Now remember, as soon as the market opens, it's trading right now, okay, after hours market in the 24-hour market. But the options aren't trading. Okay, options don't trade until tomorrow morning at 9:30, which All these numbers are going to change tomorrow morning. But the math equation never changes. What am I buying it for? Okay. What's the closest strike price? And what is the closest strike price selling for? Okay, so let's look at some numbers and see what it sounds like. As a matter of fact, let's do a sample trade. Not that I'm going to buy Intel tomorrow, because right now it's at a bottom and it's dropping. But let's take another look, because the numbers look good. Okay, the 19s are going for a $1.45. Now, a $1.45 on an $18 and $19 stock, that's over 6 or 7%. Yeah. All right, anyway. Let's take a gander. All right, first thing I want to see the 1-year chart. The high of the year was a year ago, 38.86. Now, she made a big drop at the end of July from 29.90. She dropped all the way down to 18.60. So from 29 to 18, that is an $11 drop. An $11 drop on a $30 stock is over 30%. Well, that's a huge drop from here to here. Okay, but let's keep going. The last 90 days. Wait a minute, the low of the year. Here it is right here. Okay, mid-September, 1835. That's the bottom. Look at the last 90 days. Well, the last 90 days is basically the last 3 months. Now, what am I looking at the last 3 months? I'm still looking for the same 5 things. Okay, high, the low, where was it, where is it? And then I'm looking for the movement. What's the flow of the ocean or the flow of the river? I don't know. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Where do you think it's going next? Well, before it can go back up, it has to find a bottom. Because see, look, there's a bottom right here, easily visible. Bottom right here, easily visible. Bottom right here, easily visible. But right here, we don't know if tomorrow is going to be lower or is tomorrow going to be one higher. So Intel, I'm just going to pause and take a look at. Now, I already own some Intel, so I'm not really worried about it at the moment because I want to wait for it to find the bottom. Where's the bottom going to be? Well, the previous bottom was right there, okay, at 18, almost at 19. But the previous bottom from that one was right there, almost the same distance away. Well, I'm looking for a pattern. Are there any recognizable patterns in the 90-day chart? Well, yeah, there is. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Great. Where's the bottom? All right, well, let's look at the last 30 days. Because the last 30 days is going to give me a good idea. Okay? This is the last 30 days. It's going to give me a good idea of where it's going to go next. Well, apparently, we have gap up, gap up, gap up, gap down. Okay, so down, up, down. Great. Where's the bottom going to be? Okay, it could be tomorrow. It could be Tuesday. It could be Wednesday. I don't know. I like Intel. Intel has some great numbers. Take a look at the premiums. Look at this right here. The $21 option, 22,000 contracts are open. The 22, 24, almost 25,000. Look at the puts, almost hardly any as compared to the calls. Now this over here, you may or may not understand it, but that's how many people are thinking that it's going to go up because that's what a call is. A call is when people thinking it's going up. A put is where people think it's going to go down. But look at the open interest. How many are out there? 1,200, 9,200, 2,900, 22,000, 4,400, 25, almost 25,000. Okay, but look on the other side. How many people think it's going down? 1,900, 1,400, 3,100, 1,300, 4,200, 2,700, 2,900. That's not even close. What is it, a 4 or 5 to 1? Yeah. You've definitely got a lot of people thinking Intel's going up. But I'm not here to tell anyone anything. I just read the numbers. Okay? Don't listen to what I have to say. Okay? Do your own due diligence. Do your own research. Does Intel sound like a good company? Where is it at this moment? Where does it look like it's going to go? Do you like Intel? Do the numbers make sense? Well, let's do a covered call example on Intel at this current price. And this current price is 1985. So we'll be looking at the 20s. So let's look at the 20s just to show you how it works. All right, let's get rid of this. All right, now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this right here so everything is automatic right here and covered stock. These are all the different trades that you could do, all the different trade strategies. Now, I could explain each and every one of them to you, but that gets you information overload and then just nothing would make sense. So I teach one strategy and only one for free. Okay, now I do have stuff to sell, but I'm not trying to sell anything to anyone. I'm just giving you an idea of what we're doing. Okay, now I do have a morning trading group. If you guys want to join, more than happy to help you out. But we're not trying to sell anything. We're just trying to show you. Okay, so we're going to go to covered call. It's the simplest, safest, most predictable trading strategy. So remember, when my daughter was 9 years old, as a matter of fact, I haven't shown you. So let's take a gander. Let's take a gander at the princess so you guys will know who it is this was made for. Okay, we're going to my YouTube channel. Having issues with Facebook. All right. All right. We're up to 955 videos. Yeah, have fun watching all those. But they're all basically the same, showing you exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to videos. We're going to the oldest, because how long have I been doing this? And here's the princess right here. Uh-oh.
Dad said, let me call him that. I won't get that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be good. Hi, I'm JC, and as you being part of my internet website club thingy, which my dad said, let me call him that.
Over 20 days.
My internet website club thingy. That's what she used to call it, my internet website club thingy. Anyway, that was her. Okay, this is me, same day. This is my funny part. I love this part. It's funny. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
What does that mean? That means every single day you can buy a different stock. Every single day there's a different company paying out dividends. Anyway, seriously.
It makes me laugh every time I see it. And yes, it was a little silly because how do you keep a 9-year-old entertained? Well, this video here is when she was 11, which she's already been trading for 3 years in this video. So that being said, let's get out of here. Let's go back to where we were. And let's get back to actually doing it. So that's the princess. When she was 9 years old, she said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? So at 9 years old, I had to come up with a strategy. And this is a strategy I'm teaching you guys. This is what I'm sharing with you. First of all, it's got to be simple. Well, a covered call is one of the simplest, safest strategies there is. Okay, so we talked about the current price. Well, the current price now is at $18.90. All right, so we're going to be looking at the 19s. The 19s are right here. So let's do one. Covered call at 19, right there. Okay, now I just want to do one contract. Now I have mine preset for doing 10 because I like doing 10 at a time. Now we're going to change it from a limit to a market because when I first getting into a trade, I want to do the market because the market fills first thing in the market. I'm not going to do it today. It's too much turmoil, okay? So usually I do a market order first thing Monday morning because the stock and the option are tied together. I know exactly what I'm going to make. Now remember, hold on. Remember when I said simple? Covered calls with the simplest strategy there is. You're buying it for one price, you're selling it for basically the same price. Safe, it is one of the safest trading strategies. Consistent, well, I can do it every single week because I want a weekly optionable stock every 7 days, every Monday. Every Monday, I'm selling a new option. Every Monday. So every Tuesday, I have money in my account that I can spend. Okay? Predictable. Remember predictable? I know exactly what I'm going to make or close to what I'm going to make. Okay? Remember I said as soon as the market opens in the morning, all the numbers are going to change. Okay, this is going to give me a rough idea of what I'm going to make. Rough idea, close. Okay, 165.50. Well, that's the profit. Well, what is it costing me to make that profit? It's costing me $1,700. Now, in order to do a covered call, you have to buy stocks. You have to buy 100 shares for each contract. One contract equals 100 shares. Okay, 3 contracts, 300 shares. Okay, it's not that difficult. So if I'm showing you how to do one, and this is the profit for one, well, you should know by now, if I get $10,000, maybe I can do 4. Or maybe I can do 10. Maybe I can do 20. You all know what you should know. Or you should have a good idea of how much you have available for yourself. Now, don't do this until you know what you're doing. That's why I always tell newbies, paper trade. It's not that difficult. Okay? Now, I've been trading for over 20 years. I still paper trade because there's still trading strategies I come up with that I don't want to put real money into. So what do we have here? Okay. So real account, paper trading account. Another real account. Whatever. So I get 7 accounts. I share 3 of them with you guys. Let's get out of there. All right. So 165 is my profit. Here's what it sounds like. Buy 1 covered call of Intel. 100s, that's the weekly. 11 April 25. Well, that means this trade is going to expire on the 11th, which is this coming Friday. So whoever buys this option has between tomorrow morning when they pay me for it and Friday afternoon, 11th of April at 4 p.m. Because at 4 p.m., the option expires. They actually expire on Saturday, but at 4 p.m., you can't do anything. So you have 9:30 Monday morning until 3:59 Friday afternoon to do something. Do it. Don't do it. It's actually that simple. Okay? It is actually a legal binding contract when you buy and sell options. Okay? Pressurian. I have, okay. How you doing? Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at the numbers. Buy 1 covered call, 11 April 25. That's this Friday. The $19 call strike against the stock Intel at the market to open to open. To open to open. It's 2 trades. You're buying the stock, you're selling the option. But you're only paying 1 commission because it is a covered call. You're doing both at the same time. Now, here's the thing. If Friday the 11th, see, 11 April 25, that's the 11th of April, next Friday. If the stock is above the strike price, 19, okay, whoever bought it from you is going to take those stocks away, give you $19, okay, and you get the profit between $18.92 and 19, which is an extra 8 cents per share. And you also get this money here, the 165. If it is $18.99 come Friday afternoon, you keep this money and you sell it to somebody else on Monday. Okay, so this Monday you collect the premium. If it doesn't hit your target by Friday, you sell it to somebody else the following Monday. If it doesn't hit your target, you sell it to somebody else the following Friday. So on and so. Hold on. Let's get out of this. Oh, wait a second. Before we do that, let's check out what the rate of return is. So to find the rate of return, we need our calculator. Calculator. Here we go. Right there. Okay, so here's the calculator. Clear. Now, we're going to take the profit right here, 165.50 maximum profit right there, 165.50 into the chart, and we divide it by the cost of the trade plus commissions and fees. Cost of the trade plus commissions and fees. $1,735. $1,735.16. I'm not going to add 16 cents. Hell. Okay, divide that. 9.5% for 1 week. Well, that's freaking awesome. But, hold the thought, but, let's go back to that chart. Because although that 9% sounds pretty freaking attractive, because it is attractive. Hell, I'd do it just for the 9%. And I like Intel. We don't know where the bottom is. Okay? This could be the bottom. Could. Are you wanting to make a trade on a could? Woulda, coulda, shoulda? No. Me? I like find the bottom, 2 days up, then jump in. Yeah, the gapped up is what it is, but 2 days to the upside. Because it isolates and lets you know exactly where the bottom is. Let's go back a little bit. Okay? Same thing here. She came down, here's the bottom, couple of days to the upside, 1, 2, 3, jump in the next day, and then she goes up. All right, let's find another bottom. Same thing. Bottom, 2 days up, and then the third day, back up. Okay, same thing here. Bottom, 2 days up, and then the third day it went up. Now, I'm only looking to get 1, maybe 2%. Well, 1 or 2% is easy. But you gotta pick the right company, and never pick a company you're not willing to hold on to for a long time. Okay? I have no problem holding on to Intel until the day I die and pass it on to my children. So, hey, sell a covered call every week. You get cash flow. Because I'm not buying the company. I'm buying the cash flow. This is an asset. This asset produces a cash flow on a weekly basis. So yeah, some weeks it will be up and I'll get a great rate of return. Other weeks it may be down and the rate of return might be less. But here's the thing. It's a cash producing asset. And I'm okay with that because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for me to lose trading strategy. Now, when I say no way for me to lose, well, I could lose. Okay, and most people will lose by hitting the wrong button. Now, I know it sounds childish. I know it sounds like, oh, I'll never do that. Yeah, you will. We all do. Okay, I've been trading for over 20 years. And 3 weeks ago, I did hit the wrong button. I lost $2,500. Hey, look at that. I got a tomato on my head. Yeah, so I did hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button in a live episode. We were actually, I got a live, I said that, a live trading group we trade with every morning. Okay. We were live. I was trading something. Nobody said anything. I hit the wrong button. It's like, oh, shit, there goes $2,500 down the tubes. Nobody said anything to me. But it happens. Okay? Yeah, you're going to hit the wrong button eventually. Everyone does it. Don't feel bad when it happens. Simone is in the house. Hey, Simone, how you doing? All right. Antoine, I hope that made sense to her. So let's go see what we have to look at. David, okay, got it. David, you're new. So if you want, and I say this to everybody, okay? If you want to have a personal, private conversation, number one, I don't do WhatsApp. I don't do, what's that other one? Telegram. Okay? More than likely, you are going to be sent an email by someone pretending to be me, telling you about this really great opportunity in cryptocurrency or Forex. Well, here's the thing. I don't do cryptocurrency. I don't do Forex. I don't do those smart contracts, and I don't do futures. I do dividend investing for weekly cash flow. That's the only thing I do. So if you get approached by someone and asking you about one of those, have I got a deal for you? Yeah, it ain't me. So I tell everyone, you want to chat? DM me with your number. I will give you a call. I'm surprised Simone's never sent me her number. She's here a lot. All right, so let's keep on rolling. All right, what do we have here next? Okay, Gabriel has a question. Oh, Raul. Information RGLD. Isn't that real gold? RGLD. RGLD. Royal gold. Okay, royal gold. Now, okay, now, Gabriel. No, it wasn't Gabriel asked this one. It was Raul. Okay, Raul, I don't do monthly optionable stock. Okay, 17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, 15 August. Okay, I can only do those once a month. They don't pay as well. If you like them, hey, no problem. You do it. Okay? You ask my opinion. My opinion, for me, it's a no. I don't like monthly optional stocks because I only trade them once a month. And what am I going to get? 12 to 24% a year? That doesn't work for me. Okay, sorry. Okay, what do we have next? Silver Wolf, how's it going? John Clayton, I invested. I am so rich. I'm swimming in a pool of IRS paper. Yeah. Okay. Save man, woman, peace. Stay out of the markets for 5 or 10 years. This is a different reset. All right, thank you. Now, save women, man, peace. I'm going to have a disagreement with you only because the stock market's been around for 400 years. 400 years. During the Revolutionary War, they were still trading in the stock market. World War I, stock market was still trading. World War II, stock market was still trading. Korea, Vietnam, the Great Depression, they were still trading stocks during the Great Depression. Okay, this is just a minor reset. Okay, stocks go up, stocks go down. Okay, now I really don't think, I could be wrong, and I admit when I am wrong. I really don't think Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper are going to stop producing drinks. I don't think Bank of America is going to close their doors and say, you know what, 140 years is enough. We're done. It doesn't work that way. People still go to work. People still need to contribute to society. Yeah, we're having issues. We had an issue every decade. Every decade, there's a major issue where people say, oh, the world's going to end. This is not the first time they've saying the world's going to end. Okay? But I'm pretty sure Procter & Gamble is still going to be making toothpaste and laundry detergent. Okay? Clorox is still going to be making bleach. Why? Because people need to wash their clothes. Okay? Anyway. CH. So you think Dow Chemical will get below 20? They paid a nice 280 dividend, and I hope they can keep the dividend going. Okay, hold on a second, CH. Let's pull up Dow Chemical. Because Dow Chemical is on my list. I don't own any at the moment. But take a look at that. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Where do you think it's going next? Okay, is this the bottom? You're going to make most of your money buying low, selling high. Now, for those of you guys sitting on the sidelines, ask yourself a question. Dow Chemical's been in business for over 100 years. Okay? They consistently increase their dividends, which means they're consistently profitable. You think that at some point, where is the bottom going to be? Hold that thought. Let's go over to Yahoo Finance. Okay, let's put in Dow Chemical. Now, I want to look at some interesting information. Now, I don't own any Dow at the moment. I want to look at statistics. Okay, profit margin 2.6, operating margin 4.4, return on assets 2.4, return on equity 6.5, revenue 43 billion, revenue per share $61 per share. It's a $28 stock and they get $61 per share revenue. Okay. The book value $24.67. Operating cash flow $2.9 billion. I don't think they're going anywhere. Okay, they got a nice book value, a nice revenue per share. Total debt equity 99%. Well, that's interesting. Forward dividend almost 10%. Shares short 16 mil. That's not that bad. 5-year average 5%. Okay, I'm not seeing any downfall here. Okay, you got to know what it is you're looking for. Okay, so 6 months ago we're at 37 billion. Now we're at 28 billion. 51 billion coming in. 43 billion. Yeah, she went down a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. Anytime you change, what do you call that? Change administrations, you're going to have some changes. You're going to have some growing pains. Does it mean Dow Chemical is going out of business? Not by the numbers I'm looking at. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's go back to here. All right, so we saw the high, we saw the low, we saw where it's going, we see where it is at the moment, 28.20. Okay, so the 28.70 is the current price. So we'll be looking at the 29. The 29 is going for 39 cents a share. Well, that's over 1%. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be buying anything until, see the bottom? See the bottom? Then she goes up, bottom goes up, bottom goes up. Well, as soon as I have 2 days to the upside. So I may like Dow Chemical, but I ain't buying anything tomorrow. Not this. I mean, because we don't know if Monday's going to be lower. And we don't know if Tuesday's going to be lower. So it's great to keep your eye on it to see stocks at a possibility of being the low of the year. Because you make most of your money buying at the bottom or waiting for it to go up. Well, it's currently at the bottom of the year. And it's Dow Chemical. They've been around for a while. I don't know if there's anything. Seriously, I have no idea. Is there anything? Any whispers, any rumors that they're going to disappear, go bankrupt, and go belly up? Not that I know of. All right. So that's Dow Chemical. Hope that made sense to you. And I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. David, I'd love a one-on-one with my wife and I. That's 2-on-1, dude. That's not 1-on-1. But I hear what you're saying. So, Dave, drop me your number because you're on YouTube, which means if you go into the bio on YouTube, it's going to be sent directly to my phone, which is right there. So if you do it now, I'll see it pop up on my screen. I'll say, hey, cool, Dave just did that. All right, so let's keep on going. I'll DM you at Paso. Bold cord, it had to be bailed out. Okay, bold cord, I'm not sure which one you're talking about that had to be bailed out. Riley wants to take a look at Costco. No, Costco's $1,000 a share. I don't even want to waste my time with that one. Lisa M. I wasn't able to make it until just now, so I probably missed a lot. It's okay, Lisa. It's all the same. Okay, you got my number. You know how to get a hold of me. All right, so TikTok. What kind of questions? We got 99 questions. Holy shit. Twisted Philly. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. All right, hold on. All right. Okay. Cool. The stock drops. We already did that one. Yep. We already did that one. Oh, Jamar wants to look at Pfizer. Hold on a second. We're over here at TikTok looking at the 99 questions I got. James, thanks for sharing your knowledge and your thinking on things. Oh, you're welcome there, Twisted Philly. Rebecca, love the shirt. Cool beans. For the right price, you can have one too. Which I don't know why I say that, because hypothetically they're supposed to be in the on the websites, you can buy them, but I don't even know if they are or not. Bit, just joining. What's the strategy? Bit, sit, chill, hang out, see if it makes sense. Billy, have you seen the Nikkei for Monday? It dropped a lot. Well, Nikkei is in Japan. Total different economy. Haddad, XRP, not a dividend stock, dude. Sorry. Flash, what's happening? Darren Smith, good evening. Ray Upchurch, okay. You're not that guy, pal. What does your shirt mean? What does it mean? That's a no. Okay, you want to take a look at a stock? Well, that's a no. Okay, then I haven't used the phrase yet. What the hell were you thinking? It's when people buy something so, in my humble opinion, okay, when people tell me they're buying something or look at something that makes total no sense whatsoever, I will say, what the hell were you thinking? Seriously, because think about it. You're talking about investing your own money. At some point in time, you are going to retire. Fight, argue, bitch, moan, do whatever you want. It ain't going to slow down. You are going to get older. You are going to need to retire at some point. The money for you to live, because we are the only species on the planet that's got to pay to live here. Okay, and we Americans, we have expensive taste, right? So here, worldwide, if you make $34,000 a year, you are richer than 90% of the planet. The planet, at 34,000. Okay, yeah, but 34,000 a year, you're in poverty. But strange. Anyway, what was I saying? Squirrel. Yep, I get sidetracked easy. I forget what I'm saying. Lisa M, do you have any Verizon? No. We can look at Verizon in a little bit. Okay, we're going to take a look at the strategy in a little bit, in a little bit. All right, Flash, how's it going? All righty. User 43. Hello, I'm trying to start investing. Teach me, please. All right, you got to change your name, dude, because that 437-158-9259274, I can't be saying that all the time. North Star, hello. All right, Skip. Hey, James. All the way from PEI, Prince Edward Islands, Canada. What stock plummeting is it wise to invest in stocks? Skip, I'm going to tell you, don't do anything until you find a bottom. Okay? Stocks drop, and they keep dropping until they're done. That's it. They go up until they're done. They come down until they're done. Okay? Now, we, buyers and sellers, we're going to take a look at certain stocks and say, what Dow? Right now, Dow's at 28. Well, how much further down does Dow have to go before you say, holy shit, I'm going to buy it at 18, 19, 20, 25, 27, whatever it is. Okay? Decide what it is you like. Make sure it makes sense to you. Never buy something because somebody tells you it's supposed to be good. Make sure it's a company you want to buy and hold for the rest of your life. Now, I don't buy stocks for the company or for the stocks. I buy them for the cash flow because I'm retired. That means all the money I have has to last me for the rest of my life unless I feel like going back to work. Now, I could, but I don't want to. Okay, I've been working since 1973. I'm kind of enjoying doing a lot of nothing. Okay, how many beers are you in? Believe it or not, tonight I have my tea, which is good for my throat, because I'm not used to drinking so much. And I believe this is my second hard Mike's, or is it my first hard Mike's? Mike's Hard Lemonade. Ooh, that's good. Anyway, so just one. All right, North Star. To be honest, trade the trend. Risk happens fast. Don't make predictions. Risk management. Making profits. Being a profit. Cool beans, North Star. I like that. Okay, doesn't work for me though. Okay, I'm retired, which means I need cash flow. That's my requirement. Consistency of profitability. Okay? CJ, you think your 401 is trash? Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure you didn't read the fine print. But I'm not going to bash your 401. Okay? Now, your 401 may be down in value, but you don't actually lose anything until whoever is running your 401 sells something at a loss. Okay, so we have a couple we want to look at. Okay, Lisa wants to take a look at Verizon. Flash wants to take a look at Nucor. Well, let's look at Verizon. That should be relatively quick. VZ, there we go. Interesting. Nice. I like it. All right. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, what's going on here? This is the current moment at this time. Hold on. The crow flies at noon. I have no idea what that means. Long-term investments or short-term swing trades. All righty. Bit, I don't do anything long. Plus, my idea of long-term is 30 days. Okay? I'm a total different type of investor. I invest for weekly cash flow, weekly returns. I'm not an annualized person. I don't buy something to hold on to it for years. It's got to make me money this week. And if it's not going to make me money this week, then I ain't buying it. Okay? Everything I have in my portfolio gives me a weekly return every single week. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm teaching you what I'm doing. Weekly cash flow. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so Skip. All right, Skip says, all the way from Prince Edward Islands, Canada, with the stocks plummeting, is it wise to invest in stocks? Okay, so here's the thing, Skip. Now, I'm not sure, because this is your first time here. There's somebody else here from Prince Edward Islands, and that is, I can think of his name. Andre, you don't know how the game works. Brazil. You're in Brazil, and you're telling me I don't know how the U.S. stock market works. Okay, fine. I'll take your word for it. Anyway, who else is it? Who else is from Prince Edward Islands? He does a lot of oysters, and he ships oysters from Prince Edward Islands south. I'll think of the name in a little bit, okay? But there is somebody else in your area. Prince Edward Islands is not that big, I'm assuming. All right, Benjamin, what do I outlook on Bitcoin? I don't do Bitcoin. Okay? Sorry. So swing trades is the game? No. I ran the strategy before, but it was kind of slow. But of course, I didn't have a lot of startup capital at the time. I have found a good day trading strategy that works. Well, good for you. I send an image from a professional. What the heck is it? HFT. Whatever. Anyway. So I'm glad you got, if you have something that works for you, great, fine. I have something that works for me, that's what I'm sharing. Okay, does price of stock matter in your method? Yes and no, Elson. Now the reason why I'm saying that is, if I can get, 1 or 2% on a $20 stock, why would I be looking at $1,000 or $2,000 stock? It just doesn't make sense. But, here's the thing, 1% is 1%. So 1% of $20 is still 1%. 1% of 1,000 is still 1%. So it's really irrelevant about the price, depending on how you're approaching it. Okay, I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable 1% every week. So the price really doesn't matter, because if the stock moves up 1 or 2%, it's still 1 or 2%. So if I put $100,000 in and it moves up 1%, that's $1,000. Okay, even at $1,000 a share, if it moves up 1%, it's still 1%. Anyway, let's keep on keeping on. Verizon. Okay, so let's keep on looking at Verizon before we go a little bit further. Hi from Malaysia. How are you doing today? I sent it. Okay. Hi from Malaysia. Okay. What you're doing does make sense, and it does work. I agree with you. But weekly buy and sell investments is a swing trade by definition. Jolly good. Thank you for that. Not that it's going to change what I'm doing, but you want to put a label on it, be my guest. Where are we? Okay. Verizon. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up. What's going on here? Don't really know. Let's get a closer look before we do. Does it make sense? 41.80, we've been looking at the 42s. The 42s are going for 81 to 231. Well, that's well over 1%. As a matter of fact, that's close to 2%. Well, I can do 2%. 2% every week is over 100% per year. All right, well, that works. Well, let's take a gander. A year ago, we're at 41.99. Okay, the low of the year was right there, the 10th of January. Well, look at the last 90 days. See, the last 90 days look pretty good. Okay, you had the high, you got the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the movement. Down, up, down, up, down. Well, if it wasn't for Friday's big pullback because of, people panicking, okay, if it wasn't for people panicking, look at the nice movement for Verizon. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow night should be an interesting night. Now, I'm going to be here again tomorrow night, so we'll take a look at Verizon again tomorrow night. Is it going to go lower, or is this just an anomaly? Do you remember with the jabby jab thing back in 21? Wait a minute, 20, right towards the end of March of 2021. Okay, the end of March of 2021, everything dropped. It dropped, and then everything went up. Well, Verizon is not at the bottom. There's a lot of stocks that are at the bottom because of Friday. Well, this one's not. Okay, this is just a little bit of a hiccup. Okay. Next. Flash wants to look at Nucor, N-U-E. N-U-E. Here we go, Flash. Whoops. Try it one more time. N-U-E. There we go. Nucor. High, below, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, sideways, down, up, down. We have a new bottom of the year. You make most of your money buying low, selling high. Well, guess what? You cannot get any lower than the low of the year. That was Friday. But Monday could be lower. We don't know. Okay? Last 90 days. Okay? High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, big drop. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, we'll find out tomorrow. Plain and simple. A lot of stuff we have to wait for tomorrow. Oh, hi from Malaysia. Okay, cool beans. Crypto score. Do you put stop loss on every trade? Nope. I don't lose stop losses at all. Okay, I have 5 simple rules. Okay, now you're new here, so let me briefly explain. Okay, the trading strategy that I'm sharing with you for free. I don't charge anything for this. This is the kindness of my heart, believe it or not. I'm actually creating a video dialogue. No. Video diary for my children and my grandchildren. Okay, so when I'm gone, they'll have something to say. That being said, I've been doing videos for since 2011. So you guys are just here because, as evolution has it, 2011, it was this big, huge camcorder that we'd take videos with, and then we'd upload it onto YouTube. And as it progressed forward, well, now we're press a button, now we're live all over the world. Well, it's just a progression. So, that being said, I forget where I was going with that. Don't get old. It may sound glamorous, but yeah, certain things go. Oh, so stop losses. Okay, so when I say the trading strategy I'm teaching you is what my 9-year-old daughter wanted to learn how to trade. Say, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? This was in 2008. I said, sure. So I had to come up with a trading strategy for a 9-year-old. Okay, most adults don't get this. Okay, so how do I teach a 9-year-old? Well, first of all, it's got to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. So I got 5 rules. Now, this is where, do I do a stop loss? This is where that comes into effect. You ready? Rule number 1. Never buy something you don't want to hold on to for the rest of your life. If you don't understand it, don't buy it. If you're not willing to hold on to it, win, lose, draw, drop, blah, 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 whatever, don't buy it. Simple. You don't need a stop loss if you're buying something you want to hold on to for the rest of your life. That's simple. If you're not willing to hold on to something for the rest of your life, because stocks can move 50%, sometimes 60, 70, 80% per year. High here is 140. Hold on, let's go all the way back. Okay. The high of the year, over 200. Okay? The high of the year, 203. The low of the year was Friday, 99.77. 203, 99.77. That is a 50% drop. If you're not okay with a 50% drop on anything that you buy, don't buy it. Because that's what they do. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. I'm not buying the stock. I could care less about it. I'm buying the cash flow. Is the company consistently profitable? Can I get 1% every single week? That's what I'm looking for. Do I care that it was at 200? Now it's at 100? No, I don't. Because guess what? If I bought it at 200, I'm getting the exact same dividend as the person who bought it at 100. Because the dividend doesn't change. If the company's profitable, they'll increase the dividend. And it has weekly options. So not only can I collect money from the dividend that consistently increases, I can pick up, what is it at now? 100? The 100's at $5 a share. Holy shit. I can collect $3 or $4 or $5 every single week from this company. Not only the dividend every 90 days, I can collect a premium. And look at the size of the premiums. At $100 at the moment, the 100 is going for $5. The 101 is going for $4.90. The 102 is going for $3.60. The 103 is going for $4. The 104 is going for $2.45. The numbers here are ridiculous. So I'm not buying the company because I like the company. I'm buying it because I want the cash flow, a cash producing asset. That's what I'm looking for. Something that gives me money every single week. So Nucor, yeah, that works. But I'm not buying Nucor until it finds the bottom. Okay, look at the last 30 days or so. Okay, hit the tops here, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, great. Where's the bottom going to be? The bottom could be there. The bottom could show up Monday. The bottom could show up Tuesday. My hair's terrible. Ooh, excuse me. Bit, what's tomorrow's buy? We don't know yet until tomorrow. As simple as that. Don't know yet till tomorrow. All right, Flash, thank you for that. CJ, sorry about your 401k, dude. If you want to give me a buzz, we'll take a look at it. Wait a second. Drop me your number. I'll give you a buzz. Intel this week, James. B-Rad, Daddy. I love Intel. We looked at it. But remember what I always say, B-Rad. Okay, never buy something until INTC. Okay, look at that motion. Up, down, as soon as it finds the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to keep my eye on it. I already own some Intel, so I'm not really hugely worried about it. But does it give me an opportunity to dollar cost average down? Not really, because I think I'm into it at like 23, 24. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to this. Currently it's at 18.77. The 19s are paying $1.45. That's like 6%. Now, I wouldn't do it until the bottom shows up. Okay, it could be Monday, could be Tuesday, don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Oh. Please not set trades tonight for tomorrow morning. Okay. Let's keep on going. Thank you, KG. Elson, does price of the stock matter in your method? No, it doesn't. Consistency of cash flow matters. Hey, 75 Corvette. Good evening, young lady, and how are you today? LM Smith, what's happening? Kit Kat. I'm assuming you're from Texas, Kit Kat. How are you tonight? Hasuna. Hasuna, how are you tonight? Daniel, Stukal, Cool Beans, Seahart, what's happening? Pluto, Keto is, let's do Macy's. All right, I love Macy's. I seriously didn't think Macy's could go down any further, but it actually did. Okay, Ricky, what do you think of Diego stock? Never heard of it. It's a liquor company that manufactures Smirnoff Ice, Don Julio, Bullet, and Crown Royal. You got to give me the stock symbol, the ticker symbol, and I'll take a look at it. I've never heard of it before, so that's usually not a good sign because I have a specific goal that I'm looking for. Okay, specifically 1% per week. I'm looking for 1% per week. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. I don't like anything that does not fit. Okay, it's simple. If you're going to buy a new pair of shoes or a new pair of boots or whatever, and you go to the store and see a whole bunch of nice ones, if they don't fit, then it's a no. That's just no. Okay? Lisa, I've read that Macy's is going out of business, so what happens to the stock? Well, okay, Lisa, last year Macy's had 4 buyout opportunities. And the second one, they said, hell no. We will buy back each and every share at 24 as opposed to selling it to you. That's what they said last year. Okay? Are they going to have another buyout and go private? Don't know. Okay? But we'll see what happens. Now, I do own some Macy's, so I might be interested in if you know anything. Ricky McCall. Dio. I've never heard of Dio. We'll take a look at that one next, Ricky. All right, so Macy's. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Sideways down, sideways down. Okay, what's going on here? 1138. I haven't seen it go this low in who knows how long. All right, so currently the 1138s, it's going for 11. See, 1094, 11. Okay, it's going for 64. That's over 5%. But do you like Macy's? And if Lisa's correct, I would be doing a little bit of research. And is it true that they might go bankrupt? Now, I heard that they're having issues with theft. A lot of companies had issues with theft last year because the previous administration didn't want to prosecute theft. So a lot of people lost a lot of money. Well, where does that go? It gets passed along to the consumer. That's us. Okay? And here we have it. What's going to happen? Don't know. But Macy's has been in business for over 100 years. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Okay, but anyway, I wouldn't buy them. Now, I do own some, but I might dollar cost average down on them because I haven't seen it this low ever. But that's me. Look at the movement down, up, the big gap here. Okay. Well, at least keep on going. What do we have next? All right. Okay, 75 Corvette says, I'm happy with 3,000 or 4,000 a month. Cool beans. I am that I am. That was from the 10 Commandments. I am that I am. Okay. Anyway. Rough. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Absolutely correct. Chet Donnelly. Crash. Yep. William Peters says, short it all. There will be blood tomorrow. We don't know. Welcome to 1987. Cool beans. Jesus can save you. Well, good evening. William Peters. Give it 4 years. Okay. All right. Castoria. 54 dividend kings for 5 decades. 67 aristocrats for 25 years. Okay. Thank you. That interpretation is incorrect, but I'm not going to go into detail. All righty, Miss Lisa. I'm not quite sure, but all right. The Does price matter? We already talked about that. Razor, how are you doing? Laurie B027179. Are you selling all your stocks? Time to short VIX. Ooh, the VIX. No, I wouldn't short the VIX. Can you define the dividend categories again, please? Okay, you ready? Number 1, dividend kings. Number 2, dividend aristocrats. Number 3, dividend champions. Number 4, dividend contenders. List number 5, Warren Buffett's list. Ricky, D.O. Tinker. All right, let's take a look at D.O. D-E-O. Oh, hell no, dude. Okay. 17 April, 16 May, 18 July, 17 October, 16 January. Those are months, Dan. Months, not weekly. Okay? A monthly optional stock, you can trade it once a month. That's it. So what am I getting? 12 to 24%? Yeah, no thank you. Okay? I only do weeklies because weeklies are every single week. It is easier for me to find or to guess. Okay? 30 days, 30 days. Okay? Here is 30 days. Okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 30 days. Great. Now tell me where it's going to be the next 30 days. It's hard enough to figure out 5 days. Why would you want to figure out 30 days for less than 1% a week? 5 days, 1% a week. 30 days, 2% a week? Yeah, no thank you. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. William Peters, for the love of God, hold your cash. Why? I have no idea why you would want to do that. No need to invest in VOO. Nope, none at all. Then how should we do? Well, Harry, for good. My suggestion, this is just a suggestion. Figure out what you want to do. What makes sense to you? We're all different. Okay? Do you want to invest in a company that's been around for 100 years? General Motors, 100 years. Ford, over 100 years. AT&T, General Electric, Home Depot, Lowe's, IBM, 3M, Wells Fargo, Procter & Gamble, Kraft Heinz, General Mills. These companies have been around for over 100 years. They've seen World War I. They've seen World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the crap in Afghanistan, the Gulf Wars, Desert Storm, the stock market crash of 29, 87, 2000, 2008, 2021, last Thursday. They've seen it all. Yet they consistently increase their dividends to their shareholders. Why would you hold on to cash? Okay, if you're holding on to cash, you may or may not know this, but 40% of all the cash worldwide was created within the last 10 years. So within the last 10 years, you have lost 40% of your buying power. Okay, think about it. Okay, if there's $100 million available, okay, and then you had, let's say, 1 million. So you own 1% of the cash. Now, powers that be decide to create 40% more. So now there's 140 million. Now your 1 million is no longer 1%. You just lost a big fat chunk of the value because of the powers that be printing more money into the market. 40% of all the money that in the world today just got created in the last 10 years. So your value went down for your dollar. Now you think everything went up? No, nothing went up. Everything went, the value of your dollar went down. Okay? Anyway, what are we doing? Lisa wants to take a look. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So you like WBA? No. WBA was last year. Okay, Walgreens, WBA last year. Yeah, it was great. I had made a lot of money on Walgreens as it is falling. As it is falling, I buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and I make my 1 or 2 or 3% every single week on Walgreens. Well, this year they got a contract for an offer to buy it and take it public. So it's not as beneficial to do Walgreens anymore. Okay, same thing with some other companies. They were hot, now they're not. So Lisa wants to take a look at ExxonMobil. XOM. Holy shnikey. I know, Lisa. Here's your high, 127. Here's your low, 104. Look at where it was a year ago, 120. Look at where it is now, 104. She went down, up, down, sideways, up, and then big drop. Okay. Look what happened since the beginning of the year. Okay. Trump took office in January. Stock went sideways. Okay. The middle of March, she shoots up to 120. Okay. Monday she falls. Tuesday she falls. Wednesday she falls. Okay. Thursday big drop. Friday big drop. This is like a perfect opportunity to find out where that bottom for you for ExxonMobil is. Okay. Last time we seen something like this was back when the Exxon Valdez crashed. Get that crash and everything just dropped. Kimberly Clark, huh? KMB. Interesting. Okay. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down. 137 to 138 is going for 230. Nice. I like that. But take a look the last couple of weeks. Okay. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up. Look at Thursday. Kimberly Clark, everything going down on Thursday. Kimberly Clark gaps up and keeps going up on Thursday. Well, that was nice. But Friday, she changed her mind. Okay? Friday, big drop. With a big drop like this, normally, okay, all things being equal, normally you'd see a retracement with a big drop like that. Normally. But who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Nobody knows. But it ought to be interesting. It ought to be fun and exciting. Conan's 350. How are you today? All right. Harry for good. How are you today? If no need to invest in VOO. Okay. I don't like VOO. I'm all for you in that one. Then how should we do? Okay, Harry, I can't tell you what to do. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I like the U.S. economy. I do. I believe in my brothers, my sisters, my aunts, my uncles, the guy down the street, the lady around the corner. We work here. We live here. Everybody contributes to society in one way, shape, or form. Okay? Now, yeah, everything dropped. But did you still go to work? Are you going to go to work Monday? Okay? Are you going to pay your bills next Friday? Okay? Is life going to go on? Yeah, stock market dropped. So what? Big deal. It happens every decade. Every decade, there's a pullback, there's a recession, there's a retracement, there's a correction, whatever you want to call it. It happens every decade. Now, we already had one this decade in 2021, with that jabby thing and everything dropped. Yeah, everything retraced. So what's going to happen here? It could be the same thing. Could be. We don't know. Chet Donnelly. Everything's getting wrecked right now. No, not everything. Okay, Chet, now, a lot of people fail to see this. Okay? A lot of people fail to see the fact that, yeah, stocks drop, but not everything drops. Something went up on Friday. There's always one. Money doesn't just disappear. It goes from one person to another person. Who is that person? Who made money when this thing dropped? Somebody did. Okay? Money's it doesn't disappear. It goes from someone to someone else. So you have an opportunity. Do you like Kimberly-Clark? Well, Kimberly-Clark's bottom is here at 136. It's at 138 now. Could it go lower? Yeah, it could. But it's not the low of the year. Not even close. So do you like Kimberly-Clark? Is this a buying opportunity for you? Or is it, I don't really like it. Everyone's different. So it is what it is. So what else do we have here? I think BTUS big crash this week. Okay. Thank you. Don't. Chet Donnelly, thank you for that. Warren, also DJ Crazy Hype. Thank you there, DJ Crazy Hype. Gardner's south of New Jersey. Gardner's south of New Jersey. I meant Lowe's. I love Lowe's. I do. Pete Rose, how are you doing today? All right, so Lowe's. Let's take a look at Lowe's. L-O-W. Oh. Well, that's not that bad. All right, so let's take a quick look at Lowe's. Here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year back in July. Not Friday. Back in July was the low of the year. A year ago, she's at 240. The low of the year was at 211 back in July. She shoots up to 287 in September, comes back down to 220. So we're at 220 at the moment. Not the low, not the high. So does it make sense? Is it a buying opportunity for you? I don't know. Well, look what happened. A big gap down on Thursday. Well, Friday opened lower but closed higher than Thursday. Well, Lowe's did pretty good, considering. But do you like Lowe's? Okay, here's the high over here at 270. She drops down to 218. Okay. Where are we next? All right, I can't read that language. I don't know if this is the same person from the other day, but I can't read that. Peter, thoughts on SoFi? All right, Peter, I don't like SoFi because they don't have any dividends. Sorry. Okay, the name of the show is Dividend Investing for Weekly Cash Flow. So if the company has no dividends, why are we looking at it? That's just, for me. I like companies that share their profits. Plain and simple. If you're a profitable company, you're sharing your profits, and your profits are increasing every single year, that's the company I want to look at. Now, I want 2 decades of consistent profitability. Well, is SoFi in that category? Now, we looked early during the show. You just showed up, so you probably don't know. But earlier in the show, we looked at how many stocks are available. 10,039. 10,039. SoFi doesn't fit. Great. So let's pick another one. Let's pick one that actually consistently profitable. That's what I'm looking for. What's up with Dow Jones? It's down like 5%. Okay. It's down. That's basically what it goes up, it goes down. That's basically what it is. It's just down at the moment. All right. So, hey, Eli. Looks like a great sale price to me, but right now I'll stick to holding NZX stock. More safe. Okay, NZX. Never heard of it. So let's take a look at NZX. What gets your tickle fancied? NZX. Nuveen, Georgia Dividend Advance Municipal Fund. Okay. You have fun with that one. Next. U.S. stocks are on a massive sale. Okay, I see that one. Will Fogarty, how are you today? Dividend Kings, Champions, and Contenders. Yep. Thank you, Eli, Elson, Cool Beans. Rough. Intel was dropped as a component of the Dow. Why is that? Oh, interesting question. Keep in mind, folks, taxes will be 30%. Boogeyman, nice of you to show up. Now, Boogeyman, you do know, okay, taxes are only for those who want to pay taxes. Let me explain. It is your God-given right to do everything legally possible to avoid or not paying taxes. There's a huge difference between avoiding and evading. Evading is illegal, but avoidance is perfectly legal. There are ways for you to trade, to make profits, to make money, and not have to pay taxes on them. And for that, Mr. Boogeyman, I tell you to go talk to a tax strategist. Have a tax strategist help you set up your account in a manner in which you're not susceptible to taxation. It's possible. All right. All right. Tong Peng Ter. Pong now. Okay. What's up with the Dow Jones? It's down like 5%. Yep. Was it caused by Trump? No. Trump just did something and everybody panicked. Okay. Ruff, run as fast as you can from Intel. Thank you, Ruff. Boogeyman versus holding for a year at much 15%. Okay, Boogeyman, we just had this conversation. Intel will be under $10 by summer. Ooh, okay. All right. Andrew Fangu. Good evening. Sabrina. All right. Senbrina. Okay, Ruff. The bottom will be around $5. Okay. Austin, how's it going? Ruff. Short Intel if you want to make money. Thank you, Ruff. Chet Donnelly, stay away from options. Okay, Chet, way to go. Axel, good evening. Thomas Shayer, good evening. Options is a sucker's game. Chet, I feel bad about that. Only because I've been doing options for the past 20 or 30 years. And I'm still alive, still above ground, haven't lost anything. Lisa, too many people get emotional with politics and stocks. That's absolutely right, Lisa. I'm going to agree with you. Andrea. Hi, James. What do you look at in the Thinkorswim chart to see those numbers on? Okay, Andrea, I'm not 100% sure what numbers you're talking about. Okay? When I look at the chart, you got the months down here, or the dates, and the numbers over here. Okay, finding out where they are, it's just cross-referencing. I'm not quite sure specifically what you're talking about, but when I look at a chart, I see the high right here around 29. I see the bottom right here, right around 16. Okay, around December, it was around 23. Okay, there, numbers are on the side, months, dates are on the bottom. Okay, Chet, really? Alex, thank you, Alex. Elson River, what's that website right there? This right here, it's not a website, it's a trading platform. Okay, what you're seeing me use most of the time is Thinkorswim or Yahoo Finance or my own website, which is the 10MinuteTrader.com. Keto Wiz, thank you. Thank you. Seahart, good evening. Elson, Thinkorswim, cool. Ruff, for the love of God, get off Intel. When Intel crashes next week, will you apologize? Absolutely. I actually own some Intel. I haven't heard anything about Intel going bankrupt. Peter's new here. Peter Cigaretti wants my thoughts on Realty. All right, Peter, what I'm looking for, you're new here, Peter, so let me briefly explain. Peter, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Realty, $17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 19 September, so on and so forth. These are monthlies, which means Realty does not have weekly options. So Realty is a no. Sorry, that's all I'm going to say about it, because if I tell you about the numbers, you might feel bad about buying some Realty. Black Swan on Monday? Could be. EVP, how are you today? Lazar, how are you doing today? Sabbath, what's happening? Ruby, good evening. Lazar. Hasuna, 223. Can you please do a quick recap on the trade? Well, let's find a good one first, and we'll do another recap. Okay, Hasun? Raspberry Mark, good evening. Dragon Hunter, 65, cool beans. Futures down another 1,600 today. Okay. Can you please take a quick recap on the trade? Okay, Hasuna, you got to tell me which trade it is you want me to take another look at, because so far we haven't found anything decent because of Thursday and Friday's pullback or drop. Hardy. Oh, world you want to live in, girls here. Good evening, and how are you today? Hardy, good evening. Sweet Den. Thank you. Simone wants to take a look at coals. Cool. Thoughts on tomorrow? Pablo, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Pablo Gomez. Coals. All right, we'll take a look at coals. KSS. Now, I do have coals, just to let you know. And doesn't that look absolutely delightful? Look at this. The high, 28. The bottom, 6. If you can't stomach that, you shouldn't be playing this game. That's what stocks do. They start here, and they go down. Now, I'm into coals, I believe, somewhere at 12. So I'm down 50% on mine. Okay, but here's the thing. I still get over 1% every week from coals. Okay, now, although I'm into it at 12, well, this week I'll probably sell the 8s or the 9s. And what's the 8 going to give me? 8's going to give me 10, which is between 10 and 18, maybe 1%. The 750s, no, the 750s are too close. So the 8s, 10 to 18, the 850s, 5 to 9. Now, the way I look at it, some money in every single week is better than no money. Now, I'm not buying it for the stock. I'm buying it for the cash flow. Now, I've had coals for at least 8 or 9 months, and it consistently gives me over 1% every week. All right, well, let's take a closer look. The high of the year, 28.37. A year ago, we're at 25.55. Shoots up to 28. Look at the last 90 days. Okay. The high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Where do you think it's going next? As soon as it finds its bottom, okay, and maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, okay, we can all probably say that Friday, basically everything made new lows. Now, this is the low of the year for this one. Now, we looked at some stocks where the low of the year wasn't Friday, but it was close enough. Tony Gold, how are you doing over there? And who else is there with you? Lamera Miranda, Marbella. Cool bean, that's a lovely name. Good evening, good evening. All right, so let's keep on going. So that being said, coals, the last 30 days for coals, 7th right there. Okay, so look what happened to coals. 30 days ago, we're at 12.50. Big drop, sideways, big drop. Okay. Does it make sense? Is it something you want to own and hold on to? You can't get any lower than the low of the year. And you probably all heard the saying, buy low, sell high. Now, I'm not suggesting you buy it. I'm suggesting you think clearly. Opportunities of a big, huge drop, a new bottom, doesn't come around that often. Could this be the bottom of the century or the decade? Yeah, it could be. It could be the absolute lowest it's ever been and ever will be. We won't know until tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we have nothing to compare it to. Okay, Thursday was low, Friday was lower, so what's going to happen Monday? It's two different directions, up or down. That's it. Okay. Let's keep on keeping. Oh, we got 22 minutes. All right. No more stocks. I got way too many questions. I got 99 questions to go through. Free Crystal, good evening. Melodic Angie, what wrong button did you press to lose 2,500? Angie, we'll talk about that another day. Jeremy, how are you doing? Don't bet if you don't want to hit the wrong button. Yeah, I hear that. Lazar, what is that? Ashopi TV. AMD next week for the moon. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Dude, you better have to take a look at those numbers again. What yield are you looking for? Okay, Hasuna, I'm looking for 1% every week. This is a very historical moment. Ajax, it could very well be. Okay, it could be the low of the decade for a lot of companies. It could be. We just don't know. Puzui, that's a weird name, but hey, it is what it is. B2, how are you today? Laurie, James, my portfolio lost $300,000 last week. Should I get out with retirement 5 months away? Okay, Laurie, here's the thing. Unless you sold at $300,000 below what it was a week ago, it's not a loss. It's not a loss until you agree to take it. Okay, if you bought IBM at 100 and it drops down to 30 and you sell, that is your responsibility. Okay, take a good look at the companies you own. Are they good quality companies? Do they consistently increase their profitability? Do they have options available that you can systematically, continuously sell covered calls against as they're retracing? Okay, the only way you lose is by selling for less than what you paid for. So Laurie, I can't really tell you what to do because I have not seen your account and I have no idea what's going on. But if you want to chat, drop me a number. I'll give you a call. I'll take a look and give you my opinion. Okay? Obama K9. What's happening? Hank, what stock is that? Well, right now, that's Kohl's. I lost $200,000 myself. Alcon, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing. If you sold for less than you paid, that is your responsibility. Now, I have a couple accounts. I have one account that's down $700,000, but I didn't sell anything. Okay? I can go in this week, sell covered calls against them, and still bring in 1%. I have no desire whatsoever to sell anything at a loss. That's rule number 2. Number 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to. If you bought something you don't want to hold on to, well, you shouldn't have bought it. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It doesn't make sense. If the stock's down, so what? Do they have options that you can sell against it every single week that you can bring in cash flow from it? It's a simple yes, no question. Okay, so Kohl's, I'm in it at 12. 12 is way up here. Now, I'm selling the 8s this week, and the 8s are going for 10 cents to 18 cents, which is right around 1%. So if I'm still bringing in 1%, even though my stock was at 12, now it's down to 650, which is almost an 45% drop. I'm not selling it. No intention whatsoever of selling. Because I can get, what is it? I forget how many I even have. I think I have like 3,500 shares. But 3,500 shares multiplied by 10 cents. That's $350 a week just on my Kohl's position in one account. Okay? So take a look at what you own. If you never sell for less than what you paid, you're not losing any. It's just on paper. It's called an unrealized loss. It doesn't mean anything. And it's like a profit. It's not a profit until you take it. It's not a loss until you take it. So if you bought IBM at 100 and now it's at 50 and you sell it at 50, yeah, you lost. But if you bought it at 100 and it's at 50, it's just uncomfortable. It's not a loss until you take it. Okay? Look at the 30-year chart. Okay, Alcon, I don't do anything in 30-year spurts. 5 days. Okay, I live 1 day at a time. I don't live 30 years at a time. Okay, this is where it is now. Where does it look like it's going to go? Well, tomorrow we'll find out. Is it going to go lower or is it going to go higher? I'm hoping it goes sideways because I have no problem selling the 8s because it's far enough away where I can do something on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to prevent me from losing. That's my objective. My objective is consistency and profitability. Cash flow, that's my objective. Okay, I'm 61. I have no desire to go back to work. Yeah, my account is down 40, 50%, but I'm still bringing in money every single week and I'm not taking any losses. I have 0 losses so far this year. 0. Even though my accounts are down, I haven't sold anything for less than I paid for it. And I still bring in more than 1% every week. So let's continue. Hot Knife, how are you today? Roasted Cycle, Bloodbath Monday morning. Well, we will see, won't we? Monday low at the pen for sure. Well, we'll see what happens, Alcon. MK, could you comment on the logic of rolling X from April 4th to July 18th, which is 15 weeks? Well, I think you're talking about the trade that I did. Now, I bought US Steel at 41. It dropped down to 30. I think it was back in December. In December, I rolled the 32. I sold the 32. And then the stock jumped up. Well, I still have the 32 option out there floating around, which means someone can buy it from me at 32. But if I roll it forward far enough, whoever buys that option, you got to take the premium, add it to the strike price. That is the break even. Well, at this moment in time, the break even for whoever bought that option from me is higher than the current stock price. So why would they ever exercise that option? Yeah, they have the right to buy it from me at 32, but they pay like $18 a share. $18 a share brings their dollar cost average to over 42, which it makes no sense. So it's a numbers game, MK. What did I buy it for? What did I sell against it? What did somebody pay for that premium? Well, what's that premium at now? What is my risk of being called out and what is my risk of losing? It's a numbers game. If you massage the numbers and I refuse to take a loss. That's why I pushed it from April 4th to July 18th. Okay? So that money's just going to sit there until the stock, gives me enough money where I'll take it and I'll sell it at 32. But until then, I'm just going to keep pushing it forward and keep having that money coming in. It's 11:30. We're just going to finish up with these. Holy shit, I still got 99 questions. Alcon at the open down. Okay, we'll see what happens. Hank, Dow Chemical went down over 7% tonight. All righty then. Did on March 26th. Okay, we already talked about that one. Hasoon, how come if you writing covered calls, how could you profit from writing covered calls and price increases? It's a numbers game, okay? Hasuna, if you want to find out, sign up. Watch my trades. I share each and every one of my trades live. You can see them, okay? They're all posted right here. There. Okay, that's 2024. You don't want to see those. 2025. Okay, week 13. This was 2 weeks ago. Okay, here's all my trades, week 13. Whoops. Riley, Harley Davidson, Kohl's, Ford, Riley, Macy's, Kohl's, Riley. 2,000 shares of Riley at $4.19. Okay, the 450s, 8 cents, which is more than 1%. 6 cents, more than 1%. Harley Davidson, the 26s, 10. That's less than 0.5%. Kohl's, the 9 call, less than 0.5%. Ford, 9, less than 0.5%. Riley, 6, more than 1%. Macy's, 14, got 16, more than 1%. Okay, all my trades are available. You can take a look at them. Okay, this is week 13, March 24th to 28th. Week 12, week 11, week 10, week 9, week 8, all the way back to January 1st. Okay? US Steel, MPW, Intel, Altria, Harley Davidson, Intel, Riley. What did I make week number 1 for the year? $9,000 341, 6.19%, 4.2%, 1.8%. I share 3 accounts with you guys. You can take a look at all my trades. I got nothing to hide. Okay? Kind of curious of what next week's looks like. But this week, it is what it is. Let's go back to where we are because we're way past 11:30. I still got 99 damn questions. Holy shit. Earl Murphy Jr., it's going to be a thriller tomorrow. I'm talking Friday the 13th, red cross the board. Hey, we don't know. Well, we will see. Is the dollar down against the euro? I have no idea. I don't do what is that? Forex. That's Forex. I don't do that. AG Clean. Hey, I'm new to stock. I'm 16. I only have 360. What do I invest in? Invest in education. That's at age 16, invest in education. Okay? Put a little bit of money aside every month or every week. Whatever you make, put a little bit aside. Okay? Then you go from there and then you decide to learn. Learn as much as you can. Stock market's been around for 400 years. It ain't going anywhere. Abraham, good evening. Albertolos, good evening. Rudy, SQQQ, we'll have to look at it tomorrow. Adore Abella, goes to cash. Okay. Tengrica, good evening. Anthony Correa, my McDonald's and Domino's don't go down. Well, alrighty then. Blue, what broker do you recommend for beginners? Ugh. That's a tough one. It depends on how much time, money, and effort you want to put into it. Okay, as far as I know, Robinhood and Webull are the simplest. Blue, good evening. Irod, what are you on to invest? Dividend stocks. Anthony, these are tariff-proof and food and essentials. Okay, cool. Do you know what website he uses for analysis? Well, for my analysis, I use Yahoo Finance. Thinkorswim and Yahoo Finance. Thank you, 75 Corvette. T, we already looked at T today. Also, he uses Schwab and Thinkorswim. Yep. Pretty Amy, good evening, good evening. Reveal it all, good evening. AG Clean. Hey, I'm new. Yep, we already talked about that one. Blah, 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 blah. Could Macy's do a reverse split? They could. E.L. Blueberry, if you had an extra 10 to 15,000 willing to take high risk, would you invest in stocks or options? Yes. Pistol 192, will VIX go up tomorrow? Don't know. Okay, Blueberry, we already answered that question. This, U.S. Steel, we already looked at that one. Don't know. AG Clean. Hey, I'm new. We already talked about that one. Blueberry, what's best to make more profits? Options or stock, even if it's more of a risk. Okay, EL Blueberry, it doesn't sound like you're been here for a while, okay? Because I've just recognized the name. I've never seen here before. It's okay. VIX is up now. Volatility is here to stay. KEN, thank you for that. Everything will change at 9:30. Kaylin, I prefer long-term capital gains, but I'm watching to advise my mom who wants divs. Cool beans. Nice to go, Kaylin. If you want, you give me a buzz. We can chat. See what's looking. Okay. Seahart, good evening. MJE, good evening. Papa Laos, we already looked at my... wow. We already looked at Mara this afternoon. All right, 75 Corvette. We'll take a look at Texas Instruments tomorrow and IBM tomorrow. Dawn, good evening. Adrian, good evening. Champagne Schooner, how are you today? 90-day inversion mirror, can't wait to be rich. Cool beans. Sonic the Hedgehog, 3,000 Dow Jones down on Monday. Okay. Uh-oh, someone just sent in something, got something on my email. Are you an angel investor? No, I am not. Kinu, good evening. User 5689047, good evening. Varidades STLA, good evening. Andrew Fang, how are you today? Do you allow other people to invest with you? Yes, I do. Send me a DM if you're really interested. Step up. Tomorrow, the biggest drop. You just don't know. Abby, good evening. World you want to live in, girl? Cool beans. King Louie. Gotta love King Louie. Well, what did King Louie say? Oh, I forget what King Louie said. TMF. Alrighty. Don't know what that means, but okay. Definitely more downside. Could very well be. Skyway Diver. Costco. Ooh, cool. We should be holding through this. Okay, cool. I don't believe in selling at losses. I don't. I have 5 simple rules. Okay. Number 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term. Okay. If you don't understand it, don't buy it. Number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the whole game. Number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Number 4, weekly options only. I want weekly cash flow. The only way I'm going to get it is weekly options or sitting in front of my computer looking for chart patterns. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Windy City, how much 401 lost Thursday and Friday? Give an example. Okay, I don't have a 401, so I couldn't tell you. Is tomorrow Black Monday? I honestly couldn't tell you that one either. Hot Knife, can you borrow against stocks and use to if purchase other investments other than stocks? Yes, you can. But you have to go through the right places to do that. Luis James, weekly options on Pfizer. Oh, what do I think of Nike? I like Nike and I like Pfizer. Okay? I'm not going to look at them tonight because I usually quit at 11:30, but I have a rule. Very strict rule. I answer each and every individual question. And right at the moment, I have about 50 more to go through. Okay? Jake, good evening. Start fresh. Do you still sell covered calls when the stock is down 50%? If it gets in the money and called away, you can lose. Yeah. Start fresh. Okay? You're absolutely 100% correct. Okay? I do sell covered calls even though my stocks are down. And if it goes in the money, yes, I can be called away. But I haven't lost anything this year, and I don't plan on it. Okay? So I've been doing this long enough, and I'm here twice a day. Once in the morning with a private trading group, which if you're interested, they're there. And at night with you guys. So I have a good idea of where my accounts are at all times. And if you have a concern, is that thing on my head? If you have a concern about your position, if you're going to be selling a covered call against your stock that is down, set a stop alert. No. Set an alert, not a stop alert, just a stock alert. So if by chance, let's say you bought IBM at 100, now it's at 50, and you want to sell the 55 or the 65, far enough away where it's give you some room to wiggle, and the stock starts to move up, set an alert. So as soon as the stock hits a certain price, you will get an email right to your phone. Then you log in. Is it something you need to take care of right away, or can you have a little bit of time to think about it? That's what they're there for. They have alerts. If you're concerned about where your position might be, set an alert so that you're aware of what's going on. Okay. Skyway Diver, Costco. Play Tesla. Yeah, no, I don't do Tesla. They don't have dividends. RKT, isn't that, is that Rocket? Something. RKT. All right, Rocket Mortgage, no. David Fink, good evening. Start fresh. What is your strategy with selling options when they're down 50% or so? I like to go 3 to 4 strikes out of the money to give it some room to move. See, right here on Kohl's, at the money is 650, 82 cents. Okay, 3 strikes out would be the 8 or the 850. Granted, it's not 1%, but it's pretty damn close. And it still brings me in money every single week. Braden Schmidt, good evening. Brandon, are you related to Al Bundy? Sure, why not? Annabella, Kimberly, how are you today? CJB, what's happening? We are headed to a massive recession, chat. I don't think so. King, good evening. DJ Mills Wills, good evening. Farah Bishop, good evening. Hasuna, Corvette, what do you think? Blah, 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 blah. How do we know if we can do weekly calls on a stock? Hasuna, weekly calls are right here. Hold on a second, let's change this. If you want to tell if you can do a weekly option or weekly calls, 11 April, that's this Friday. 17 April, that's next Friday. 25 April, that's 3 Fridays away. 2 May, 4 Fridays away. 9 May, 5 Fridays away. Every single Friday, there's an option there. Well, take a look at O Realty. (17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 19 September, so on and so forth. These are monthlies, which means you can't trade weekly options on those. And some stocks have no options at all. So my criteria is very simple. 2 decades of consistent profitability, which means every year they make more and more money. Okay. Second one is weekly options. Now, out of the 10,000 different stocks that are available to trade, there's only about 300 that are consistently profitable and have weekly options. Nazar, how are you today? Let's keep on going. Okay, rebound at midterms, if not impeached early. Hedgehog, I have no idea what that means. Okay? And I have no idea when you're talking about impeachment. Okay? I'm hoping you're talking about the people who need to be impeached, not the people actually changing stuff. All right. Auntie Gigi. I look great for 60. Why, thank you, young lady. Falling knife will drop another 10, 15%. We just don't know. AG clean. Hey, I'm new. Okay, you already did. You asked me that question 4 times, dude. Oh, please, the character wasn't this intelligent. Okay, 75 Corvette. I have no idea what you're talking about, but hey, it sounds interesting. Zach Walker, how are you today? Hasoon. You have to check whether the stock offers weeklies. You can call your broker or look it up. You know, Hasoon, you could go, you ready? Hope you can write this down, CBOE.com. Chicago Board of Options Exchange. And once you get there in the search bar, weekly stock options. It'll tell you every single stock that has a weekly option on it. Obama McCain. Can you borrow? Yeah, we already asked that stock. David G. What's happening? Brendy. Rocket Mortgage. Yep. Hot Knife. Can you borrow? You already asked that question. How if you... Wait a minute. Okay, got that one. Okay. Got that one. Okay, got that one. Got that one. Okay, right. MC8080. How if your covered calls are signed and then you are still under the amount that you get paid? Okay, so MC8080, you're jumping to conclusions. From reading this, you're saying if your covered calls are assigned. My covered calls don't get assigned. Okay, I look at my account twice a day. All right? If something happens that I'm unaware of, well, that's my own damn fault. But I'm usually very on top. I got 7 different accounts. I keep an eye on them every day because I don't want to lose any money. See, you guys, most of you guys here are still working. Fine. There's nothing wrong with it. At some point, you will retire. At some point, you will have a choice. Either invest the money yourself, take responsibility for your own money, or give it to someone else to do for you. An ETF. Give it to a computer. He'll do the money for you. Give it to a money manager. He'll do it for you. Give the money to someone that you can rely on to get a good return. But I can guarantee you one thing. Nobody has more interest in your money than you. So if you do it yourself, Learn to do it simply, safely, predictably, consistently with no way to lose. That's one way. Or give it to someone else. Sign up where? Rick. Sign up for what? Okay. Rick, if you have an interest in anything that I got, go to the top left corner, click on that, DM me with your number. I'll give you a call. We can chat. It's not right for everyone. It's boring. It's monotonous. It's the same stocks over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, go right to here. Okay, well, let's go back up to the top right there. Let's look at 2024 glasses. Now, I want to show you how boring it is. All the way down here. Okay, look what we got. Where are we? Week 51. Okay. Week 50, Macy's, Intel. Macy's. What was that? Week 49, Macy's. Week 48. Week 47, Macy's. Week 46, Macy's. Harley Davidson, Walgreens. Week 45, Walgreens, Macy's, Harley Davidson, Intel, Advanced Auto Parts. Week 44, Harley Davidson, Intel, Macy's, Advanced Auto Parts, Harley Davidson, Intel. Okay, Mara, Riley, Riot, Icon, Mara, Norton. Where is it? MU, Macy's, Mara, Macy's, 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 Bank of America, Chevron, Ford, Intel, Walgreens. If you look, all my trades from 2024, you will notice there's certain stocks I trade over and over and over again. Now we're on week 2025. Go all the way back to January 1st, the beginning. Okay? Harley Davidson, Intel, US Steel, Kohl's, MPW, CVS, Halliburton, Foot Locker, Kohl's. Okay, Foot Locker, CVS, US Steel, Foot Locker, Kohl's, Riley, US Steel, Macy's, Intel, Harley Davidson, US Steel, Harley Davidson, Kohl's, Foot Locker. You'll notice I trade the exact same stocks over and over and over again. Why? Simply because they consistently give me cash flow. That's what I'm looking for, a cash flowing asset. Okay, each one of these companies, Harley Davidson, over 100 years old. US Steel, over 100 years old. Macy's, over 100 years old. Okay, most of the companies I do are over 100 years old. Well, look at that one. 4.8%, 3.6%, 1.8%. That's not bad for 1 week. These are all weekly trades. You can click on any single one of them. Okay? Macy's, Kohl's, Riley, MPW, Intel, Kohl's, Intel, Macy's, Harley Davidson, Intel, US Steel, Harley Davidson, Macy's. All the same stocks over and over and over again. Why? Because they keep giving me cash flow every week. It's actually that simple. It boggles my mind. People ask me questions. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are these people thinking? If a company's consistently profitable, why not? Okay, so Rick, sign up where? Okay, let's get out of here. The 10-minute trader. Right there. Live trading. The 10-minute trader. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week. Live nightly training, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not on Fridays, not on Saturdays, but every other night. Great NK4X. Joe Esparza, cool. Ren, Seahart. Love your channel. Hasuna, thanks for the time. You're welcome. Mimi Mimosa, good evening. Paul, good evening. Oba McCain, can you borrow? Yeah, you asked me that question five times, dude. Bella, good evening. Crypto Synco XRP, cool. QFS. Okay. Your mom's best friend calls, guaranteed money. Ooh, that sounds good. Habibi, good evening. Narachi, how is Tesla stock? Nope, I don't do Tesla. Not profitable. Okay, they don't have dividends, so no. Joel, good evening. Sappho, good evening. Smile, what time bull run is your prediction? I don't predict things. I don't. Cody, how are you? Jamar, how does psychology affect your trading? Ooh, that's a good one. How does psychology affect your trading? Well, if you don't have a strong mind, yeah, you can lose easy. Smile, crypto is over. I don't know. Diamond, good evening. Joey Mahler, how are you? Danny Boy, what's happening? Smile says nonsense. Down, down. I have no idea what that means, Smile. Zarin Mirzo, good evening. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I'm almost done. What time I have no idea what that means. Catalina Bellaroso, good evening. Raphael, good evening. Bella, cool beans. Rizzo, CXIA, never heard of it. Cody, hello. What sort of trading do you prefer? Weekly trading. Profitable weekly trading. Wait, so you never let a call assign, even at target price? Only if I'm profitable. Okay, if I'm profitable, yeah, I'll let it get assigned. But for the most part, the question that was asked, Larissa, the question that was asked about the assignment was, if I'm selling stocks that are down 50%, the risk of being assigned, I don't let them get assigned when they're below. Okay, so I only let them get assigned when they're above what I paid for them. Other than that, I'll just roll it forward. Melatonin, good evening, good evening. Todd Shaw, good evening. G. Joe G, what's happening? That Silver guy, he rolls them. Thank you, Silver guy. Yeah, Larissa, listen what Silver guy says. He rolls them into the next week for several to avoid losses while getting premiums. He's absolutely right. Yippee-ki-yay! Hey, man, I've been saving a lot of money by eating rolls of aluminum instead of eating regular food. Good for you, dude. More power to you. Mace, good evening. Keto, how to sell covered calls if previous week didn't hit strike and think or swim? Ooh, Keto, that's a good question. Your best bet is come back tomorrow night, ask me tomorrow night. We are way past time. Harry for good, why only dividend stocks? Ooh, it's called Ceres calls. I have no idea what that means. But anyway, why only dividend stocks? A couple of reasons. Okay. Number one, I'm 61, I'm retired, which means I'm not looking for capital appreciation. I'm looking for cash flow. So stocks that offer cash flow are dividend stocks. Now, granted, most dividend stocks don't move a lot. They're not very volatile. That's the word I was looking for. Not very volatile. They're safe, they're consistent, they're predictable. And if they're consistently profitable, it is easy for me to see by looking at the dividends rather than reading the annual reports. I could read the annual reports, or I can just look at the dividend. Okay, now I'll give you, for instance, if I see 4 dividends, 18, 20, 24, 28, well, that's 4 in a row going up. Well, how long is it going to take me to read 4 annual reports? A little bit longer. If a dividend is a part of the profits, if the profits continue to increase, the dividends will increase. It's so much easier just looking at the dividends than it is looking at the quarterly reports or the annual reports. It's simpler. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. That's what I'm looking for. Harry for good. Covered. All right. Uh-oh, I am done. Last of the question. We got 3 questions, and that's it. 00 live, % live. Okay, cool. Thank you. The Mortgage Magician, cool beans. Coles has gotten killed. Okay. I'm in your boat. Todd Shaw. Well, good evening, Todd. See, you said you're in my boat. I actually sold my boat to a guy named Steve. So I'm thinking, Todd? No, I sold my boat to Steve. Mr. Steve bought my boat. But anyway, I see what you're talking about. I recently put money in a high yield savings account, the rest dividends. Ugh, high yield savings account. Todd, you and I got to have a call, dude. Seriously. Okay? No, seriously, dude. Drop me your number. I'll give you a buzz. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. Seriously. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. High yield savings account? Oh, dude, unless it's paying you 10 or 15%, no. All right, anyway, what do we have over here? Orlando. Cool beans. Hey, James, when will the markets hit bottom? Don't know. We'll find tomorrow. My only money comes from dividends and interest. Then, dude, we seriously got to chat. Seriously. If you have money into a high yield savings account, yeah. All right. Anyway, Lisa, I think there's new people who are coming in looking for more information on day trading and swing trading. And when you say do not let the stock assign, I think it's because they are day traders. That could very well be, Lisa. Okay? Everybody has a different agenda. Everybody has a different goal. But we all have the basic same ideas. Okay, we all want our families to be safe and comfortable. We all want to make money, and we all want to retire comfortably and be healthy. Okay, we're all very similar in those things. But how you look at things, how you interpret things, how you do things, well, we're all different there. A1 Steak, dude, how are you today? All right, how do you feel about Trump saying he doesn't care about the stock market tanking? Well, I agree with him. Okay, A1 Steak, I'm waiting for you to reply to that one. I agree with him. Okay, either a company's profitable or it's not. See, the thing most people don't have a tendency to forget is the price of the stock in the stock market has very little to do with the actual stock itself. You got to take a look at the cash flow, profits per share, income per share, book value. There's a lot of things you got to look at. Stock price is nothing more than the public's perception of the valuation. That's it. Peter, A1 stock. I see it as an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity also. Everyone's different. We all look at things differently. Okay? You can get 10 people at an intersection witnessing the exact same car crash, and you'll have 10 different stories. It's actually that simple. Everything is different for everyone because we all look at things differently. I look at things by the numbers. Is the company consistently profitable? Are they consistently giving me more than 1% for the week? Am I okay with holding on to it? All right, it's 12 o'clock, 30 minutes behind time. I've answered every single question. So that's it. A1 Steak, spider to 200. I seriously doubt it. It's at 500 now, and you think it's going to go to 200? Have a good night. You too, Peter. Orlando. James, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Oh, don't play that game. One more. Get up quick, pack. Okay, you guys over on Facebook, have a nice night. We're here every night. I'm going to try to get a new camera for Facebook. The camera is horrible. Gay son or thought daughter. It's at 480 now, and you think it's going to go down to 200. Okay, is what it is. Down $20 every day. Okay, not wrong with that. I don't see it hitting 200. All right, you guys have a great night. See you later over there on Facebook. Guys on Instagram, you guys have a great night. And you all on TikTok, have a great night. See you again tomorrow. Peace out, everyone. And, yeah, dude, I'm not even going to ignore that one. Okay, so you guys have a great night, and we will see you again tomorrow night.